Hi, welcome to That's a Thing Accent Core. It is episode 0.77. It is Monday, Monday, June the 15th. And I'm Drew.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nolan.
All right.
And the world is still in crisis.
Yeah. But we're fighting the fight. The good fight.
Fighting the fight, but a lot more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just the fight is still loud. It's just that the news is starting to is left. Because the news will stay on a topic for roughly 2 weeks and then they're like, we're bored. Let's do something else. That's what the news do.
Or you could argue it's more that they don't want to show peaceful protest.
I think that's also true. Oh, that's sad.
Your choice of how sinister you want to make the executive decisions fit around the news.
I always lean towards stupid. Because I think it gives me a somewhat more hopeful worldview when I consider that instead of being overtly evil, it's just stupid, negligent evil. Because then it's not some Illuminati conspiracy man who's actively doing things. Because to me, that's way worse of a... I don't know. Is that worse of a problem?
I think so.
It's more nefarious and more actually evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stupid and ignorant problem, you could at least argue, well, if we could reach them and educate them, but they've been so willfully ignorant for so long that you kind of can't use that worldview anymore.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of the actual supervillain maniacal genius.
I mean, I look at it, my worldview is way more cynical of, who owns the news? The rich people do.
Oh, yeah.
So of course they want the news to help enable like no change in the world because they're currently winning.
Never forget that old Nancy Pelosi kneeled down and then said, "I ain't defunding the police or doing rent because I have $100 million."
Yeah.
Oh, I want $100 million.
Listen, that right there, that ended racism. It's over. It's gone.
It's gone.
She did it.
That one swift move. It's over. We won.
Oh, cool. All right.
You dress up in some African clothing and you say, "We're real sorry about that," and then you move on with your day. That's it.
Did anyone get Boondocks vibes from that? Because I got
Yeah.
like that one guy who was into Huey's teacher, and he was like the spirit of Africa or something. Remember?
Harambe.
Yeah.
Harambe.
That's what I got when I see that. I'm like, oh,
Life is unironically becoming an Onion article, and I don't know how to feel about it.
oh. It's difficult. It's difficult when you're trying to make quote unquote satire anymore.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're a writer at The Onion.
Yeah, you're just a news reporter now. You've decided to make something farcical, and then it just happens. It's probably also why that Rockstar hasn't made another Grand Theft Auto after Grand Theft Auto 5.
I never
Yeah.
played any of them.
Do you want to roll into that?
Yeah, that was my segue.
Well, now you can play Grand Theft Auto on your PS3, your PS4, and your PS5.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Aren't we lucky?
Is it weird because I liked Grand Theft Auto 5. I beat the single player campaign of it,
Yeah, me too. I enjoyed it, but
but it's like, okay. It's one of the it makes me feel old because apparently GTA Online, if you look on Twitch, is always like the third top thing, and then when I click on it, I don't get it.
I liked watching the Giant Beast Crime Crew.
Yeah, but it's like people are they're doing role playing in the city.
Oh yeah, like RP servers.
Yeah. And I don't get it. I do not understand. Also, I don't know what Grand Theft Auto. I think it's because GTA likes to exist kind of when they think they're edgy, and now we're in a point where the typical kind of GTA edgy quote unquote satire when you is not enough. They would have to go because remember, games can't be political or else that causes problems. You can't have that.
People are so stupid.
Metal Gear Solid is not political, Drew. There's nothing political of Metal
Punk
Gear.
rock is not political. Keep politics out of punk.
How can Rage Against the Machines have this political view?
Yeah.
How dare they be against conservatives?
Paul Ryan is, I think, on record saying like Rage Against the Machine was one of his like workout like bands he listened to. And it's like, how?
No, it makes sense because when they're saying "F the man," he's thinking, "Yeah, they all want to have sex with me."
Yeah, fuck you, Dad. I'm a big man now, Dad. And I can't. It was a few years ago where there was some Republican who like tried to call out Willie Nelson for like, it's like, why does you got these liberal views all of a sudden? It's like, what do you mean? Why does Willie Nelson, the weed country guy, all of a sudden have liberal views?
It's you thought it would you did the cool robot. You watched old Gundam and you said cool robot. You didn't listen to the words. Okay, so is Miles Morales Spider-Man a game or is it a DLC?
It's a standalone. It's like the infamous Last Light thing.
Okay, that's better. Because I went from being
I
really
know.
excited to hating that to now I'm back to kind of like, okay.
So
I
now you're
think
just
what
confused.
it is if you buy the like remastered version, you get it for free or something.
Oh, so it's like included.
No, you can buy it separate, but if you buy the remastered version, you just automatically get it.
Oh, okay, so it's like one of those download codes, kind of like when you pre-ordered
Yeah.
Doom, you got Doom 64.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because I wanted to play that because I like Miles Morales and I like Spider-Man and I like the PlayStation Spider-Man. That game was great, so I'm all in. Oh yeah, so we're talking about PlayStation 5 reveal. Nolan, you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay, Drew has not watched it, but that's fine. Who cares?
We're talking about the pop collar.
Yeah, the popped collar.
The Flash Feed 5.
I don't know. It's just whenever I see industrial design like that, my brain goes, that thing's just gonna snap off. Whenever I, and also it doesn't look like it lays on its side very well.
I think it does though. Like I've seen some like images of it on its side, and it looks like it's actually okay.
Okay, is it going to be kind of like the PlayStation 3, where like the old
Yeah.
PS3, where you're like, this is kind of bulbous?
Yeah, but it's still flat on the top though, so it's more so. I don't know that you could put your monitor on top of it if you wanted to.
How expensive do you think that thing's going to be?
500.
What do you think, Nolan?
Say 501.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so no, I got muted a while ago too. Whenever I started talking a lot about the Giant Beast Crime Crew. So Nolan, if you can hear us, I could not hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
You might have to bounce and rejoin Nolan. Discord is having some issues.
Okay. All right. Nolan, if you could...
Yeah.
Okay, you're back.
Here, I'm here.
Okay.
How much do you think the PS5 will be, Nolan? How much do you think the PS5 will be, Kevin?
I think it will be 500 for the disc, and I think it will be 400 for the all digital.
Mm. Did they say if the all digital has a larger storage capacity?
I don't know. They haven't said much about the specifics, or I haven't looked about it.
Because I imagine if it's an all digital console, out of the gate, have to have more storage.
Yeah, it's...
Then again, isn't part of this new generation supposed to be like selective installs for games?
I don't know.
I think
Like,
so.
yeah, where like you could install, okay, well, I just finished the story mode, so now I'm just going to delete the story mode, but I'm going to keep the online verses.
You mean how I could finally like not have to download all of Call of Duty, whatever, just to play Blackout?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, like I haven't turned on my PlayStation yet, but I'm scared because if I want to do the whatever Warzone, I'm gonna have to download a 100 gig Call of Duty patch, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, you better get
It is the
started.
patch, but it's not that big.
Okay, because I was scared about that.
Because I had to do it.
I'm like, oh god. Because that messes up. My internet starts to not like it whenever I'm downloading a lot of crap. And then old Charter starts going like, hey, you're streaming now too. Wouldn't it be funny if the stream started to die? All those packets just go away. And then they do. Alright.
So, Nolan, how much do you think the PS5 will be?
It for a reasonable price, I'd say $499.
Yeah.
We are all on the same page.
I hope it's not over that, because then I'm not buying it. That's the most I'll be willing to put into it. It's
Yeah.
$499.
We'll also have the like nice soft period where games that are coming out on the PS5 for a little bit will also still be on the PS4 too.
Yeah. And also, for me, it's weird because they showed a lot of games, and I actually like a lot of the games they showed. It feels like I like them more than most people, but there's not the huge excitement there. Maybe it's because I've seen so many video games. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I haven't gotten excited at a video game announcement in a while. Maybe it's just me being an old man.
I think it's also just how many games come out now. There's so many indie games that like don't have the same budget, but they're also kind of better than a lot of AAA games.
Wait, hold on, Kevin. Do you mean you're not excited about Bug Snacks?
Bug Snacks bothered me. Okay, we're gonna talk about Bug Snacks. Something about that trailer gave me Cronenberg vibes. It's when
Drew, have you seen it yet?
No, I was thinking about muting myself and watching it right now.
Okay, yeah, do it. Watch Bug
Watch
Snacks.
that. It is horrible.
It's is that game secretly sinister?
No, it's not. I would hope it's not because of the Octodad guys.
Yeah.
But maybe something changed.
Like it felt like Viva Pinata, and I really liked Viva Pinata. I thought Viva.
That's the vibe I got off of it. I'm like, ooh, neat. And then I start seeing the body horror. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and then I start getting concerned, and the lyrics, it's like the bug snap. Like it feels like, is this game secretly a Bloodborne, where instead of the old blood, it's like a hamburger beetle? I don't know, man. The Bug Snacks, the horror. of the Bug Snacks. Drew's watching the Bug Snacks, so he is gone. We will continue. Resident. Oh, I don't know. He probably wanted to talk about Resident Evil.
Anything that that was really good to you from the press?
I really liked Ratchet and Clank. I'm always happy to see Ratchet and Clank come back. I think it is the same sort of game, but I'm always happy to see that game where there's a distinct Ratchet and Clank formula where you go through your kind of platforming levels and you level up your guns and you see a pretty decent cartoon, and I'm all in. I love Ratchet and Clank. They're great. All right, Drew's back. Did you watch the Bug Snacks?
I am 100% on board for Bug Snacks. I like it.
Okay, because we were talking about, do you think there's something sinister to Bug Snacks?
No, I don't. It makes me think of Spore.
There's something when she ate it and her arm turned into a French fry. It bothers me.
Strawberry?
Yeah. And it's like you're becoming food. It's like that slow beef tweet, the Junji Ito of you.
Kevin, you're already food.
I don't like that. I don't like thinking that I'm food.
But you are, Holmes. That's what happens. You die and things eat you. They would do it sooner if given the chance.
Yeah. The circle of life. I did watch the Your Movie Sucks about Kimba the White Lion. The 2 hours about Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Yo, Kimba the White Lion is messed up and weird.
Yeah, it's also just ripped off completely for Disney to make Lion King.
No, it is not.
Dude,
you should watch that. Like the footage that
I'm not watching 2 hours.
Okay,
of
let me give you the run.
I cannot.
Let me give you the rundown. So, whenever you see footage that's like shot for shot comparison of Kimba the White Lion and the Lion King, that comes from a Kimba OVA that came out after the Lion King.
Okay.
Also, Kimba the White Lion is mostly about Kimba, like, doing Astro Boy shit, but he's a lion. So he's like riding in a balloon and solving crimes and wearing pants. And it is not the Lion King.
No, listen. My favorite story of that is him with the one-armed black guy throwing grenades at.
Yeah, he did. And then Kimba's like, "I'm gonna help you, black guy. Kill those leopards." And then black guy killed the leopards and died. Remember when Kimba the White Lion took out his child and left him abandoned and said, "Find your way home, idiot." And then he just...
Kevin, and I don't like you saying, remember when Kimba the Lion did this, when you never actually ingested any Kimba the Lion, you just watched a guy talk about it on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's 2 hours. That feels like I ingested it.
You could have just watched it in the...
I don't know. Kimba the White Lion seems kind of bad. I don't want to watch it.
No, at some point, I'm at least going to try to watch the one on Amazon.
Is that the one where Kimba goes to the cyborg future?
I don't know. Well, I'll find out.
Because that one looked kind of nuts.
It might be the one where he puts his father's dead body on and runs around.
That's all of them. Kimba loves wearing his father's corpse. He loves it. He can't get enough.
They make fun of him because he's white.
Oh, and there's that weird... Kimba's weird. What do you feel about Goodbye Volcano High?
Man, I died inside while I was trying to watch that.
It feels like not Night in the Woods. I feel like Night in the Woods is the pinnacle of teenage hipster animal sad depression simulators.
I just started that game last night, and it's real good.
That game is the peak of that.
Yeah, Night of the Woods is the best. Like, of all of those kinds of games, Night of the Woods is the best one. Go Smelters. It's one I haven't. That's a game where I did not play it, but I've watched it twice.
There is literally one line in that game that I think is the best line ever.
F the police.
No, that's been before.
The main. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. You cut out.
The main character goes up to another character and goes, "Hey," and they go, "Hey, kid, what are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm not a kid. I'm 20." It's like, "I'm 30. You're a kid."
Yep.
I like the. Oh, I'm not gonna ruin it. That game's actually worth experiencing. I would say the only other games apparently that I have watched more than I have played are Heavy Rain and not Beyond Two Souls, but Detroit Become Human.
Kevin, also fighting games.
Okay, yeah, fine. I mean more is like story games, not multiplayer games. Because I've watched a lot of League of Legends and card game, but this is like
also real quick. Night in the Woods is included in the 1,500 game bundle on itch.io right now that supports Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
No, buy that bundle. It's great.
It's $5. You can raise it as much as you want, but it's $5 for currently 1,500 games.
Infinite.
Some of which are just like game assets, so you can build your own.
I would say it's worth it for just Night of the Woods. Like $5 for that game is a steal. The game's great. It'll probably hit you. I don't know how far you're into it, Drew, but it'll hit you hard. It hit me.
I just got to part 2, so it's where we ended the night on May getting a lift home from B while she's drunk, and we just find out how shitty of a friend May is.
Yeah. Who'd you go with, Greg or B?
I haven't had to choose yet.
Okay. Who are you thinking about? Because you got to pick one. Well, you don't have to pick one, but it's kind of like...
I didn't know this was a choice that I had to make in the game. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I also thought, like, they give you a hint of it earlier, whereas, like, Angus has already told you where he works. And so when you wake up one day and May's like, "Oh, I'm going to go find Angus," I'm like, "Oh, well, we're just going to go to the video store. That's where he works."
Oh.
And you go in the video store and talk to the deer who's working there, and May doesn't have anything to say to her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, May, you didn't even pay attention to what your friends were talking about.
Oh.
I paid attention to your friends more than you did.
Yeah. Oh, May's great. She's garbage. But that's why she's
she's
great.
got some problem.
Oh, she does. Oh, she do. Yeah, so goodbye Volcano High. Like it's that whenever I see that kind of game, it's just I'm like, yeah, that one's not for me. Maybe it'll do some. I just don't like the scaly art of it. Of Goodbye Volcano High. Whereas I do like the stylized art in Night of the Woods. I like those animal people.
So my only problem with the art style in Night of the Woods is when a regular cat is walking down the street next to you.
Yeah, don't think about that.
That is some Pluto and Goofy nonsense that I don't like.
Yeah, don't think about that one.
Oh, yeah, how do you feel about Aunt Mall Cop?
Well, I mean, I tweeted out the images of F the police and ACAB.
That's going to be all game, and I love it. I just like the idea. It's like, hey, Aunt, man, fuck the police, fuck you.
Yeah. Small town polites is all she's got.
What else was talked about? We talked about the bug snacks. We talked about Ratchet and Clank.
Did either of you guys watch the Dave Chappelle special.
I did.
I have
watched that
not.
Dave Chappelle special.
So
That-
it's very much not a comedy set. Would you agree, Nolan?
It is not a comedy set. Like, there's maybe one or two jokes in it, but it is not a set.
Yeah, isn't that what Dave Chappelle does nowadays? He just kind of goes to an area and then he talks at you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's what he does.
No, what is it? It's 8 minutes, 47 seconds?
Yeah, 46, I think.
46, yeah, 8:46 is the name of the special.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of just about
And
what's going on nowadays.
Yep, and it's on YouTube, so.
Fuck,
But,
it is really good. It's real powerful.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle has been an active voice about the black community for a long time. And almost everyone outside of that community has just been like, oh, let's laugh at the funny black guy.
Well, that's why he stopped doing stand-up, if memory serves, is because he stopped doing the Chappelle show because people weren't getting it. I might be wrong on that, but that's what that's what I always assumed, was that he was like, oh, people aren't understanding what this is.
Yeah, they're laughing at me, not with me.
Yeah. Where it's like,
Now, as someone in the position where I immediately understood this is what he's making fun of, I get it.
mhm.
I don't understand the mindset of people not being able to figure out, oh, that's the whole point of the joke.
Well, Nolan.
It's about racism.
Well, Nolan.
Turns out people are stupid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. People
Yeah.
are stupid.
Listen, Michael Bay keeps making those Transformers movies. He just keeps making them. And people keep beating them. Bumblebee was pretty good, though.
Fast and the Furious may never end because of those people.
God bless them for that. Sometimes even a broken clock is right twice a day. With the masses and their slovenly garbage, and then I'll look at that garbage, I'm like, that's some good garbage. I need to see Dominique Toretto's car do a rope swing. Need it.
So who is Dom's love interest ever since, his one true love tragically passed?
Oh, she came back.
No, not her, Kevin.
I don't know. I'm missing the joke.
Do you not remember the American Dad episode?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, that was a good episode. Oh. Oh, Paul Walker driving off. Yeah, they didn't. They had to cut out the flagrant homoeroticism. Horizon Zero Dawn 2 looks pretty good. I like that game. Did anyone else play that game?
Nope.
Nope.
It's pretty good.
Didn't it come out at the same time as Breath of the Wild?
Yes, it did.
And so that was the comparison
Yeah.
between the two games.
Yeah. I actually like Horizon Zero Dawn better than Breath of the Wild. It had a really good story. It was shockingly solid. And they completely it's one of those things where they completely explain why the world is the way it is, and it makes sense, and it's kind of dire. I'm not going to ruin it because I feel I don't want to ruin it.
That game is great, but the only problem I have is, why is the main character so jaded compared to everyone else?
Okay, there's a reason for that.
That's the only way they could get gamers to relate to her, Nolan.
Yeah, because the whole point is like, oh yeah, she understands that it's not, gods and technology stuff, but she was raised by a guy who's like, oh yeah, no, that's gods.
I think she's just I don't know. I haven't played it in a while, so I'm getting into a dangerous position where my headcanon might have kicked in, which sometimes will happen when the headcanon excuses a plot contrivance. So I'm trying to avoid that. Sometimes it happens. Old Aloy had some problems. How about Resident Evil? Resident Evil.
Chris looked more fat than like bulky ripped.
Yeah. He looks wide. I don't like that design for Chris unless he's gonna like take off his shirt and reveal a tyrant little thingy. And then I'm like, okay.
No, Kevin, you're thinking wrong. He has to like take off his shirt, and there's like Wesker's face.
Oh, that'd be sick. I'm in now. I'm in. It turns out the T-virus was from Erebus of the Cosmos.
Listen, I just like, good old thick Redfield. I think that's a good design.
He does look more sensible than his Resident Evil 5 version, even if he kind of looks fat and old. Like
He's probably got a dad bod.
Yeah, like a little bit of a gut. I'm good with that. That game's probably going to be great.
I got a feeling it's going to feel like 4 in some places, just from the way it looks.
Yeah, apparently the inventory is an attaché case style thing. At least that's what I've seen screenshots of the inventory of that game, and you got a grid instead of the remake style where you just have inventory slots. Drew, what's going on there?
I was emptying out some like old salad from a bowl.
Okay, I didn't know if you were trying to talk and the microphone was dying, or you were doing something in the background. Because sometimes
No, I was doing something in the background.
Okay, that's okay. Because I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna have to stop everything. But no, I did not have to do that. Why is there so many like platformers for the PlayStation?
Platformers are fun.
I like them, but I don't know. Like there's the Sackboy one, and then there's like the Astrobot one, and then there's the other one.
I think they're just also like an easy turnaround for a studio to do to help pad like an initial library launch.
That makes sense because you just do it. Where's Knack? There was no Knack. We need Knack. Knack is back.
So yeah, I was never aware of what Knack was to start with when that like tired old joke kept circulating the internet after last E3.
Yeah. Well, no, it was when they announced Knack 2.
Yeah, I still don't know what a Knack is. So there's a new Abe's Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Lauren Lanning showed up.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that game. I'm probably not going to be able to play it because all those Abe's Odyssey games are really hard, and I was never able to beat them ever.
I have the first one downloaded, and I just haven't started playing it yet.
They're really difficult. I think the only one I've ever beat was Stranger's Wrath because it was a first-person shooter. I could play it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right. We're just gonna go on for a little bit. You just join in if you're here. It's okay. Yeah, I like
Oddworld. Oddworld is such.
Oddworld's great.
Is it like the most unique setting in video games that's also like intelligent and well done?
I don't want to. I would say it's one. I would put it as one of the most.
Yeah.
Because I would put it up there, and it's one of the things whenever I see Oddworld, I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
It has that response. There's few other ones where they're like that. Also, Oddworld, super political. We were talking about that
What are you
one.
talking about? What are you talking about, Kevin? A slave caste system? Political? Get out of here.
You mean a slave caste system incorporated by a highly capitalistic, evil, literally evil businessman who is
Aren't they all?
who is making the food out of the slave caste,
Yep.
and then made soda out of their bones. And then Munch was there. I liked Munch.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. The Modokans.
I just don't get how people don't realize video games have political messages in them.
Because they tune it out because it's they're on the bad side of it, and no one wants to be the bad guy.
I think it's more of just like a video game is very good at making you think you're good at a video game.
That's
And
true.
as we all know, gamers hate it when they discover they're not actually good at a video game.
Yeah.
So why would I expect that same group of people to understand subtlety and nuance?
I still think the one that gets me the most is Metal Gear Solid is not political. It's just about war.
That can't be real. That can't be real.
No, that's super real. That's
Like-
super real.
There is no way. There's no way Dan Riker did not understand Metal Gear Solid was political.
No, he didn't. Just cool guys in war and stuff, Drew.
God, wait till he learns about Rambo.
Wait till people learned what Call of Duty's been about since, like, the first game.
Oh, I can't remember which number it was, but a recent one just blatantly lied about a tragic bombing and said the Russians did it, and it's like, no, but we did it, Holmes. That wasn't Russia who bombed, like, the civilian evacuation road. That was the good old US of A what bombed those people.
Yeah. It's always Call of Duty and those kind of military games they're always weird because maybe this is me getting older, but there are segments and sections of those games that are actually horrifying in the way. And I remember it was in Call of Duty 4 being really weirded out by the level when you were controlling the gunship. Like, I don't know, Drew, you probably haven't played Call of Duty.
I have never played a Call of Duty.
Okay, so it's one of these levels where it's like a section, basically a turret section, but you're in one of like the AC-130 gunships, and you're just looking at like the night vision camera, and you're like, and it's just like, tango to the left, and then you go down there and you hit it, and then it goes like, boop, 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 and it goes, target destroyed. We have a convoy to the right. And it's so detached, but you're realizing, but like the grain and footage on everything makes it look real, and you're just like, oh, this is what this looks like to people who are flying the drones.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that segment bothered me way more than the infamous no Russian section where you're an American faking a terrorist attack in a Russian airport and you're just shooting people. Because to me, I'm like, nah, that's just video game. It's kind of, I don't know. That one didn't get me as much as the detached looking at the screen in the night vision and just shooting. And they're like, yep, you just killed like 50 people. Good job. Like,
Yep. Next one.
next one. Yeah.
Yeah, you can excuse the fake Russian terrorists being like, well, that couldn't happen.
Well, it's also because you're playing it through Call of Duty and it looks like Call of Duty, and there's already that abstraction of I'm playing a video game, so it's like whatever. But the other one didn't look like the video game. It looked like whenever you've seen footage of the bomber in the night vision and it's shooting, and you're just like, ooh. Speaking of morality, I would like to talk slightly about the reviews cropping up of Last of Us 2. Have you been reading or seeing any of that?
I saw like a 7 out of 10 for it.
I just so I think like that game.
I've never played the first one, so I don't understand the love and beholden to it. When to me, it's just like a cross-country road trip in a like not zombie apocalypse.
It's to me, it's there's a subsection of video games somewhat similar to I'd say Uncharted started it, where they want to desperately be a movie, and they desperately are not even a movie, but what am I going to say? Like a season of prestige television, as it's called.
Yeah.
They desperately want to feel like
they want acknowledgement as being a legitimate art form.
Yeah, they want to be like,
as opposed to just being a video game.
Yeah, as like we're doing. Look how daring we are, and it's kind of shot that way. Like they want to be The Walking Dead, and they want to be critically acclaimed. And
yeah.
Honestly, Last of Us 1 would have been a bet, but I think the issue is that game would have actually been a better TV show, the first one, than a video game, because the video game parts, to me, similar to like how they do with Uncharted, they undercut the narrative of trying to make of killing. Like, killing is, you don't want to do violence and you want to avoid it. And now you're in a combat arena and you have to kill 8 guys to get out. And it's like, that's not really doing it.
It's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Bang, 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 bang. Now, let me out of here.
Or this ammunition and these supplies are real important. We can't get out of here. We gotta sneak our way by and just can't attack, but we can't lower that ladder over there. It's gonna make a lot of noise, and then they're all gonna come over to attack us. So we're gonna have to clean out these like 8 dudes, and you're just like, and that's not like once, like it's that kind of thing where the main characters in those games have killed like 200 dudes.
Yeah,
and then they're trying to make you feel, and then they're doing the thing. At least what I'm seeing that the second game does.
Last of Us?
Yeah, we're talking about Last of Us, where they're doing the thing where the video game makes you do something and then says, how bad are you for doing that thing? Where here comes the dog, we're forcing it to put you in like a corridor, and the dog's gonna jump at you and you gotta quick time kill that dog, and then they go, you killed that dog. How could you? It's like
why'd you kill that dog?
It's like you put it right in the way. I couldn't stealth it. This isn't like a stealth game. You said you, and then the game's like, oh, you're such a monster. I hate it.
The invisible barrier wasn't going to go up till I killed that dog. That's your fault.
Yeah, that's your fault, video game.
Hey, you could have turned that game off. You already gave us your money. You don't have to play the game, monster. Here's some DLC. Buy and don't play it either.
Okay, you joke, but that's one of the ending paths in Undertale, and it's kind of amazing. Where the game says you don't have to do this. You're just doing it because you wanted to see everything, huh? It's great. I love it. Undertale's good. Anyway, yeah, it just feels like that game is trying to tell you that killing is bad. Constantly.
But also it wants you to kill and be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it wants you to do all the crafting and upgrades. But murder and revenge is bad, though. But there's no way to not murder and revenge. Like if that game had some scenario where you could talk your way out of the problem, then I might give it credit. Or if there's some way where, okay, maybe because you didn't kill all of the enemy faction and you met the leader and you said, let's talk this through. And then because you didn't kill all of them, they'd go, okay, I'll listen. Because you seem to be not a murder monster. instead of the destroyer who's killed like 50 of my friends. Of course I'm.
It has to be like in like 4 or 5 missions, you have a choice to like wipe everyone out or like free a hostage or whatever,
Or
and that builds up to it.
yeah, intelligent
Yeah.
story where the gameplay meets it and actually matters instead of nah though. Because if you think about it, I would completely understand why they would think that Ellie and Joel and them are the monsters, because those people, once again, they've killed like 100 dudes. That's a lot.
Joel single-handedly killed like hundreds of men to where they're like, oh god, it's him, run away.
He's a monster. He's Kime from Drakengard.
Remember how originally Deadly Premonition wasn't going to have any combat? And then late in development, the producer said, no, but you should add combat.
And it's terrible, and that's kind of and that's accidentally amazing.
Yeah, but it says a lot about the game industry that even when someone had the foresight to be like, this game is not about combat, it's about like just exploring this rural town and talking to the citizens. But no, you need combat. You need to be killing something.
It's why it's the biggest fault with, I would say, BioShock Infinite, where BioShock Infinite is very interesting whenever you're not doing the okay shooting. The first third of BioShock Infinite is really neat, and then that game goes down the toilet. Is BioShock good? I like BioShock.
That's political, so it couldn't be.
Was good.
2 had some parts I liked. I liked some elements of 2. I think 2 is one of those where the gameplay is way better, but the story is not good. But there are some... I don't know, man. I don't know. That last boss fight in the first BioShock sucked so hard. Where he just turned into a Hulk out of nowhere and you had to shoot him. What was up with 360 games and having every final boss being they turn out of a Hulk and then you shoot him? There's like so many games where that was the final boss.
The one my mind immediately goes to is Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. Or the Joker just turns into Hulk Joker. You gotta fight him. And I was like, that's stupid.
Every boss, though, in that game is just a Hulk that you have to fight. And then Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I was
going
to...
more Hulks that you have to fight.
Yeah, you gotta fight all the Hulks. I still really liked Arkham Asylum. I like that game. Arkham City. Is that the second one? I like the first and the second one.
Yeah, it's Arkham City and then it's Arkham Knight.
And no, there's the one between. It was like Arkham Origins. Tangerine. I played that one. It wasn't great. Well, I mean, it was okay. It's one of those things where even the third Arkham game was not terrible. It was the same kind of formula. With a twist I could see coming a mile away. Do you know who the Arkham Knight might be?
I didn't care.
Guess. Who?
The Joker.
No. What's your second guess?
Jason Todd.
You are correct. You are correct. The Joker was your stand in that game. You were haunted by a Joker ghost and he would make fun of you.
When did he die?
He died at the end of Arkham City. That's why Arkham City's pretty cool. Joker's just dead. Like, he's just
okay.
He just dies.
I played that was it.
Yeah. I think Ra's al Ghul just killed him. Because I think Ra's al Ghul was the final boss of Arkham City. Anyone got anything else to talk about? Anything
I
else?
feel like I did, but I don't remember what it was.
You're too many talking about Arkham Oranges, Tangerine, or Nier. You're talking about Nier.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is still good.
Is that the movie with the fairies?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie. That movie. I think that movie has my favorite ending. I was so hyped at the ending of that movie.
Yeah.
When she became the evil fairy queen. Loved it. Loved it. About Pope making deals.
Yeah. That's still my favorite throwaway line in any movie.
Because it asks so many questions. And it talked about how the fairies made the deal with the Pope to only eat teeth. You're like, what? I want to see that movie. I want to see the Pope going around making deals.
I want to see Pope Francis have to negotiate with the fairies.
Yeah, like, is that why all the monsters have different weaknesses? Was this like the Pope's bargaining? Did he go to the vampires and was like, okay, listen, you guys can exist, but you can't go out into the sun?
No, because the only weakness for those things is he just made a deal of, well, what if we just leave you some teeth and then you'll give us silver in exchange for those teeth? He didn't develop a weakness for the fairies. He just said, well, welcome to capitalism.
The truest evil of them all.
Yeah.
Did I talk about the SCP fan film I watched?
No, you tweeted it out, and I meant to watch it, and then I think I looked at the runtime, and I said, oh, I'll get to this later.
I would say it's one of the scenarios where it's the quality of a science fiction sci-fi original motion picture, but because it was a fan film, I forgave it and said you actually did pretty good. There's a lot of stock CG in there, and I'm like, oh, I see it, but I forgive it. Yeah, I've just been going back to the old SCP well again. That's usually what I listen to before I go to bed to calm my nerves.
Yeah.
It's SCP and then Dungeons and Dragons lore. I learned about what the flail snail is. It's pretty neat. The flail snail is a really cool. He's just it's a snail. It has little instead of eye stalks, it has little flails that it hits you with, but it's actually friendly and it doesn't hurt anybody, and he just kind of lives his life. But unfortunately, the flail snail's shell has anti-magic properties, so it gets hunted, and whenever it dies, it just makes this sad death wail because you killed an innocent thing just for greed. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little story about the flail snail. Something that's so stupid. Anyway, I'm done unless anyone else has anything they want to talk about. Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Nolan, you got anything?
I don't know. I did want to talk about Shaggy Two Dope playing
Samurai Showdown. Okay, we could talk about the Insane Clown Posse playing Samurai Showdown. I didn't watch it.
While we're on that, if you check the Epic Game Store before the 18th, you can get like the 5 original Samurai Showdowns for free.
It has 5 special. The best
and
one.
It has 5 perfect, which is like special, further refined, that never got released.
Ooh. So what do you think about Shaggy 2 Dope streaming, Nolan? I mean, it's pretty good.
I haven't seen it, so
I haven't seen it. I just know he's doing it, and that's great.
so has he been?
Same here. I haven't seen it either, but I have it on a list.
It's on the list to see. I think it's great. I'm glad.
The Insane Clown Posse is becoming more and more of an ally than I ever thought possible.
Listen, that's what's happening.
I will say I am down with the clown, but I don't run with a hatchet.
I agree. Well, it's because all the old internet prejudices have had to be put aside. Where in the olden days, when you'd be having the Newgrounds advisory warning, the fearsome groups were the furries and they were the juggalos. But now we have far more pressing matters, so those two are okay. You're okay, furries and juggalos.
That's your Legolas and your Gimlis.
Basically, we're traveling. We're traveling to get Mordor, and Legolas lets out a whoop whoop. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, that seems like it's the end.
All right,
Yeah.
go Smelters!
Later days.
Go Smelters!
Go Smelters.
Go Smelters!
Go Smelters.